Good morning, this is Clint Satterfield, Director of Schools for Tryouts County. I want to say congratulations to our students, our teachers, our administrators, and our community. Regardless of what has happened in the midst of a pandemic, we have worked together to have a continuity of learning that I think has been very successful for us. And this is our last week of school, and we have a lot of announcements that we need to make as we try to close out the school year. First of all, on our feeding program, our last feeding day will be Wednesday, May the 20th. We are also working on a new emergency summer feeding program. The details of that are not all the way out. In order to make it work, we need about 20 volunteers. Anybody in the community or anybody in our faculty that is interested in volunteering their time, please reach out to Miss Kathy Atwood. Her email address is here. The idea is that we would serve meals through the month of June, and that would be a grab and go at Tryouts County High School only, and we would keep our regular times from 11:30 to 1 each day. This is a big week as we have some things that we need returned, and the biggest item is the Chromebooks from the high school and from the middle school. Our Chromebook return days are for the high school are Wednesday and Thursday. They're from 8 to 3 each day, and at the middle school it's Monday and Tuesday from 8 to 3 each day. And the principals asked me to remind you to please try to remember to charge your Chromebook before you bring it back in. Big week for our elementary school. We have some things that belong to students, and students have some things that belong to the school, particularly textbooks, library books, maybe lost and found jackets, shirts, backpacks, those types of things. We want to be sure we get those back to parents this week. Ms. Badrew has set up a 3-day schedule. Tuesday and Thursday are from 11 to 6 in the evening, with Wednesday, May the 20th, being from 8 to 3. The caveat to that is please remember to come to the Sam Beasley Road entrance. That is the entrance that you pick children up, the car riders, in the afternoon. So please come to the Sam Beasley Road entrance. You will not have to get out of your vehicle. It's curbside, and they'll take whatever you have into the building and get what you need. They have it all laid out, and they'll be able to bring it to you in a timely manner. Ms. Badrew and the teachers at the elementary school are working diligently to provide free summer enrichment materials. That will be a scholar's summer guide and a summer reading log. Those documents or those materials will be available to parents beginning June the 1st. And all you've got to do is go to your teacher's website next week, and then you'll be able to download those. They're not there yet, but they will be on June the 1st. Miss Dickerson says to really try to remind our high school students, in order to schedule students for next fall, it's imperative that they register now so that we can assign students to the right classes. This is something we've got to get done. We're missing about 40 students per grade level. So if you haven't done this, please reach out to Miss Jessica Cunningham, the guidance counselor. Her email address is provided here for you, and let's get that done this week. The next is our new student registration. If we have new students moving into the county, they can begin registering starting today. We have a new online registration form for grades for the 1st through the 12th grade. And we also have a traditional paper application if you need that, but you would need to contact the school principal in order for us to mail that paper packet. Remember, if you're already enrolled in school and you're in kindergarten through the 7th grade, that you'll automatically be rolled up into attendance for next year. But if you're in high school, you need to get in touch with Ms. Cunningham if you haven't registered already. Another big announcement is our Head Start and Pre-K registration ends on this Wednesday, May the 20th. And if you haven't done that, please reach out to Ms. Shannon Brawner and let's get that done. We don't want to get behind in these areas. Then our kindergarten registration begins today. And we don't have a kindergarten registration day per se, but we have a window. That window begins today, Monday, May the 18th, and it goes through June the 30th. There's about 7 steps in this process. We have a new online application, so you can start that application and download the documents as you need them. We also have a paper application. You would need to contact the school in order to get the paper application sent to you. Ms. Badrew says to remind everybody that all the families that have completed all the 7 steps of this process by June the 30th will be placed with a teacher by July the 5th and will receive notification around that date. Our report cards will be mailed to our families on Wednesday, May the 27th. Kindergarten through the 2nd grade is a standards-based report card. Parents already received that report card before we let out of school on March the 16th. Therefore, the K through 2 will be receiving a certificate for promotion, while grades 3 through 12 will actually be getting their report card for the year. Excited to announce graduation plans. Our school board met last week and we landed on Friday, June the 26th at 8 p.m. Understanding that it might be a little hot during that time, so we pushed that back an hour for heat considerations, and hopefully we might get some relaxation and social distancing rules and that type of thing that might help the graduation as well. It'll be at the football stadium. Presently we have to consider all our social distancing mandates, and because of that we cannot open the entire stadium to the public, and we will have to limit access, and right now that is 4 tickets per family, and masks are not required at this stage, but they are strongly recommended that you wear a mask in order to protect others. Presently our graduates are being featured. Their names are on the rolling sign at Trowster County High. If you hadn't seen that, please drive by, look for your name. You might even could catch it and get a picture with your name at the same time. Our senior salute presentation is ongoing. It looks great. You can go to our district website. We're adding 6 graduates a day all the way until Friday, when all of our seniors will be featured. The annual staff and Mr. Johnson have completed the senior slideshow, and that will be posted to our district website today. So our families always look forward to that slideshow each and every year. So I know you can't wait to get a good look at that. And then also Ms. Dickerson and Mr. Johnson will present the senior awards and scholarship announcements, and that video will be released this Friday, May the 22nd. So please be looking for that as well. A lot of questions about our sports and extracurricular activities. We are presently trying to phase those activities back in to what we do in schools, kind of like our restaurants are phasing in customers. But we're going by Governor Lee's Executive Order number 30 and 35, is along with TWSAA guidance. The implications of those 3 guidance documents is that we have to keep our gatherings to 10 persons or less at all times. We have to maintain social distancing of 6 foot, and we must always follow the Center for Disease Control guidance. Other important facts is that our school facilities are not open to the general public. So even though we may be having basketball tryouts, football workouts, cheerleader tryouts, that those are only for the participants. So family members and others will not be able to come inside the building or those workout areas because that would push us over those social distancing numbers. So please respect those orders as well. Getting into the extracurricular activities, they're starting at Trazewell County High School. They will start on Tuesday, May the 26th. Is our volleyball tryouts are Tuesday, May the 26th. That'll be in 2 groups from 8 to 9:30 and from 9:30 to 11. And all young ladies who are interested in trying out for volleyball needs to email Coach Jenkins in order so she can place you in one of those 2 groups. Same is for girls basketball. That will be on Wednesday, May the 27th. Coach Hawkins says to reach out to him with any questions, but incoming freshmen will try out between 10 and 11, and the non-returners will try out between 11 and 12 again on May the 27th. At Trazewell County High School, our cheerleader tryouts will be Wednesday, May the 17th. Anybody interested in trying out for cheerleader must email Miss Sylvia Eden. Her email is provided here for specific information in order to make preparations. At Jim Satterfield Middle School, our girls basketball tryouts will begin on Tuesday, May the 26th. You must email your coach. This would be Coach Greer, in order to get a tryout spot in time so that we can keep those groups to 10 or less. And you can see those times at 9, 10, and 11. We cannot allow anybody to walk up because it would skew the numbers of those groups. The girls volleyball will be on Wednesday, May the 27th, and it's the same thing as for basketball. There's a 9, 10, and 11 o'clock tryout time. You need to email Coach Gregory to get a spot and a time. And again, no walk-ups are allowed. Cheerleader tryouts at Jim Satterfield Middle School. They will have practice dates on May the 26th and 27th from 2 to 3, with the tryout date being on Thursday, May the 28th from 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. Again, any questions and trying to secure those spots is to email our new middle school cheerleader sponsor, Miss Ashley Ewing, and her email address is on the PowerPoint before you. The next announcement is from the Advanced Band. Director Rob Jones asked that parents of incoming 7th graders desiring to be in the middle school advanced band class for next year is to please email him, and he will give you details of what you need to do to get into advanced band beginning in the 7th grade. One of the things that we want you to take a look at today, and Mr. Jones has done an awesome job with this. This is what our band members have been doing in social distancing and learning from at home, but they've actually built a national anthem performance that each student did at home, and Mr. Jones compiled each person's performance into one performance, and it's on a YouTube link. We'll be providing that for you this morning, but Mr. Jones dedicated this performance to the teachers, staff, and administrators who have continued to teach students during the COVID-19 pandemic. I think, and this might be more speculation than anything, but I get a lot of questions about when will school start next year? What will it look like? Let me please provide you with a little bit of information that I have, and know that it's subject to change on a daily basis. Presently, today, we have not received any information from the Tennessee Department of Education about reopening schools. We are waiting for that guidance. Once we get that guidance, then we may be able to provide our community with a little bit more informed information. We do have an adopted calendar for 2021, and that is students return to school on July the 30th. Presently, internally, we are studying 4 school reopening scenarios. The first being that we would open school on time on July the 30th, and we would continue the present model that we're using as we close school this year. So we would be doing our online, our continuity of learning plans, always having an analog option. The second is we could forecast that there could be a delay in the opening of school to a date yet to be determined. The third scenario we're playing out, that of course that we would open on time, but students would come in phases or on staggered schedules to help maintain social distancing. That would look like some students coming on some days while others stayed at home, and then the next day other students would come while those students stayed at home. That is a scenario that we're looking at for as well. And lastly, and the most desirable, is that we would open on time and 100% of our students would be able to return on July the 30th. Please be mindful that going forward as we plan, we know that we will have some students who have compromised health issues, and we know that we'll have families that are concerned about students returning to school. We will always work to be sure that our parents have a learn from home option in case or to prepare for those certain situations. We are presently working very hard on a blended learning plan where we mix face-to-face instruction with digital instruction. This gives us an opportunity, if we're in school, it enriches our classroom instruction, and if we're not in school, that we have a long-distance digital option for our families. Please always be mindful that any digital plans that we have, we will always have an analog paper pencil options for our families that may not have Wi-Fi service and those types of things. So, what determines the 2021 school year? There's just so many variables, it's really hard to predict at this time. We have to obviously watch the COVID-19 virus. Governor Lee will give us orders about what we can and cannot do. Of course, the Center for Disease Control will have best practices and recommendations that we will always honor, as well as the Tennessee Department of Health and the Tennessee Department of Education. So we'll just have to wait for guidance from these agencies to drive our decision making going forward. Remember, as we close schools, many questions will arise. Please be sure to reach out to our Board of Education and to our schools. Our principals will be working during the summer, and reach out to them. The best way to do that is by email. Again, I cannot say enough about the work, the dedication, the collaboration, the communications that everybody has done, our community, our parents, our teachers, our principals, administrators, and our students for the great job that you've done the last 6 or 7 weeks while we've been out of school. I would call it, even though it might be a failure that we was out of school, I would call it a successful failure with a great emphasis on success. Thank you so much. We'll continue to provide information and text reminders to our families even during the summer while school's out. So stay in touch. Thank you very much and be safe.